starting the session. Okay, so conceptually, if you had to rate probability from 1 to 10, 1 is like, I don't know anything at all in this chapter, and 10 is like, any question you give me from probability, I'll be able to answer. So where would you guys rate it?
5.
5. Okay. 5. Aryan, Suhani. Who said 8? Aryan. Okay. Kabir, Suhani, Shaurya, what about you guys?
Around 7 or 8 again.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So probability is a relatively easy chapter, like one of the easiest chapters that you guys would have this whole year. Okay. And basics of probability, you guys have already done in 8th, right? So I'll see where you guys are at, and then based on that, we'll take it forward. So what do you mean by probability? Like, what do you understand by probability?
Chances
Chances,
of
yeah.
something happening.
Correct. Chance of something happening. So if we were to take a really simple problem, so if I toss a coin, so coin has heads and tails. So when I toss a coin, what is the probability that I will get heads?
1 by 2.
1 by 2. So
1 by 2.
why are you saying 1 by 2? Like, how did you come to that answer?
Because there are 2 sides in a coin, and then heads is only 1, so it will be 1 out of 2.
Yeah, there are only 2 possibilities. उसमें से या तो heads आ सकता है या फिर tails आ सकता है. So 1 out of 2 chances. That's how it's formulated. 1 by 2. Okay, that's all there is to probability. Like, if you were to look at the formula, it's basically probability of anything happening, a particular event happening, is equal to the total number of times like favorable event happens upon the total number of times the whole experiment is conducted, like all of the possibilities taken together. Okay, so that's what we'll be building upon in this whole chapter. So you will have probability in both grade 9 and grade 10. So grade 9 may we'll be dealing with something called experimental probability, and grade 10 may you'll have something called theoretical probability. अभी ये experimental probability, theoretical probability क्या है? We'll get it in this chapter. Okay. So before you start, all right. So fractions पता होना चाहिए, like basics of fractions, reduce करना, divide करना, all of that, and you need to understand percentages. So if something is given in terms of percentages, you should be able to calculate it. Okay. So definitions start off with probability. This we already discussed, Abhi. It's the likelihood or chance of an event happening is called as probability. All right, next, trial. So if you come across a word called trial, what does it mean? So trial is an action which results in one or several outcomes. So abhi maine example liya na, like we're tossing a coin, या फिर heads आ सकता है या फिर tails आ सकता है. So in that particular event, in that particular scenario, what is a trial? Like, how do you identify what is the trial over there?
We don't know what will be the outcome, so that is a trial, that like heads might be the thing, or we can try to get heads or something like that.
So what is the trial? Like,
I think tossing the coin will be the trial.
Ma'am, I think the outcome, if it's heads or tails, or you could even land.
Ma'am, it says an action which leads to the result, so it should be tossing of the coin.
yes, Suhani is right, Arya. So trial is always an action. So when I ask you what is the trial, you need to figure out what is the action that is being done, or like what is happening, which is giving you results. So in this case, tossing the coin wo wala action is a trial. So if you're playing a board game, you'll be throwing dice, and dice say you'll get different outcomes, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 koi bhi number aa sakta hai. So in that case, what is the trial?
Tossing the
Throwing the
dice.
Throwing the dice. Correct. So trial is the action which results in any outcome. Next, event, the collection of some outcomes of the experiment or trial. So abhi tossing the coin mein kya kya events aa sakte hai? Like how would you identify which is the event in that case? So event is the collection of some outcomes of the experiment or trial that you're doing. So when you're tossing a coin,
So the total number of outcomes?
Yes. So tossing the coin mein, what all events are possible?
Tossing the coins once, right?
Yeah.
So we can either get a heads or a tails.
Absolutely. ठीक है. So tossing the coin में एक बार coin toss करने के बाद क्या क्या outcome आ सकते हैं? So coin toss करने पे either you can get a heads or you can get a tails. So head is one event, tails आना is one event. ठीक है. So these are events. So let's say you're giving a test, okay, like giving a simple 10-mark test, हमारे DT जैसे. In this, multiple outcomes are possible. Either you can get 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10. So can you identify what is the trial and what is the event in that scenario?
Ma'am, solving the exam is the trial.
Yes. Okay, trial is, yeah, writing the test, giving the test itself. And yeah, Suhani, events?
Ma'am, event will be the marks we got. So basically 10 events. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Correct. So these are all the different outcomes possible, right? So these are the different events that happen when you write the test. Okay. So the outcomes are all events, and the trial is the action, the experiment itself. That's how we recognize it. Now, probability is the likelihood of one of these outcomes happening. Like writing the test may you have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? So if it's a test on something that you absolutely don't know, like pura, it's completely new, no other variables, it is a completely fair experiment. Fair experiment matlab there's no tampering happening there. Okay? Like when you're tossing a coin, if it is a fair coin, either heads or tails can come. But if it's a coin where there's a tiny bit of magnet or some sort of weight that is put on the tails part of it, then obviously because of law of physics, hamesha the tails part will fall down and what will be facing is your heads part of it. So that is not a fair trial. So in that case, the events are not random, it is biased. Like you tampered with it so that you get only one outcome all the time. Okay. So fair event matlab all the outcomes are equally possible. So when you're writing a test, let's say it's a completely new test, all of these outcomes are equally possible if you're just marking the answers at random. So the probability of you getting 8 on 10 will be a certain number. 8 is one particular event. Out of all of these 10 events, getting one particular event, you'll have a probability associated with it. That way. Now coming to empirical probability. So remember I was talking about experimental probability and theoretical probability. So experimental matlab empirical, like both of them mean the same thing. So empirical probability matlab experimental probability. So abhi probability janna, there's two ways to go about it. Okay. So again, coming back to tossing the coin only. So if we want to know a particular coin ka, what is the probability of getting heads from this particular coin? You guys have said that, yeah, it's going to be 1/2. This answer you said on the basis of the fact that you know that there's total heads and tails, though events hai, out of which if you want to get only heads, that is 1/2, one event out of two events. So this sort of calculation, this particular probability value is called theoretical probability. Theoretical because you're not doing the experiment to figure out what the probability is. You're putting it on paper and you're mentally calculating it. So theoretically, the probability should be 1/2, right? Now, experimental probability. Now, how do you figure out experimental probability? So let's say we come across a scenario which is not very clear cut. Okay. So let's say we have like a class of people, all of you guys are there. Now, if you say people, logon ka, different people have different tastes, right? Like all of you are into different things. Some of you are into sports, some of you are into music, some of you are into art, like all of these things, right? So if I have to, if I pick one person and then I want to figure out what is the probability that if I choose a random person, that they like strawberry flavor ice cream. So how will you calculate probability in that case? So how many students are there over here?
6.
6.
6 of you are there. Now, out of the 6 of you, I pick one person and I want to know what is the probability of that one person liking strawberry flavor. So how will you calculate that?
1/6.
1 divided by 6.
1/6.
Why 1/6?
And the total number of people upon the person who likes the particular flavor.
Now, what if Ashka and Kabir both like strawberry flavor, and baki sab logon ko strawberry itna pasand nahi hai, like couple of
So
you
then it will
have
be
mango.
the students who like strawberry upon the total number of students.
So 2/6.
So that we'll come to know only after I ask each one of you, right? Like if I get the data from you guys, figure out ki acha each person ka favorite flavor kaun sa hai. If I survey all of you, get okay favorite flavor. What is Sujal's favorite flavor? What is Shaurya's favorite flavor? What is Aryan's favorite flavor? What is Kabir's favorite flavor? Like if I ask each one of you, only then I'll get the numbers, and after that I can calculate the probability based on these numbers, right? So in this case, I have to do something to be able to calculate the probability. So this sort of probability where you're doing the experiment, like getting the values first for each particular trial, and then based on all of the trials, if you're calculating the probability, that sort of probability is called empirical probability. Okay, because you're actually doing the experiment and then you're figuring it out. So another way you will come across empirical, like direct comparison between theoretical and empirical, would be tossing a coin, same experiment को लेके, I'll compare them. Theoretical is when you already know कि अच्छा ये सारे outcomes हो सकते हैं, तो उसमें से heads is only one, so it is 1/2. Empirical probability for the same thing would be if you keep tossing the coin like 10 times, then 100 times, then 1,000 times, and then you note what result you're getting each time. Like you do 10 times, then 6 times is you getting heads and 4 times you're getting tails. Then the empirical probability of getting heads is going to be
6/10.
6/10.
Okay. So that is the difference between empirical and theoretical probabilities. Now, how does it make sense? Because though outcomes hai, and like theoretically probability should be 1/2, but in this case, you're getting 6/10, which is more than 1/2.
Ma'am, that is the same thing, because if you reduce it to its simplest form, it will be again 1/2.
Will it? Reduce 6/10 to simplest form? Yeah,
No, no.
It won't, ma'am.
No, it will become 3/5.
Yeah, 1/2 is 0.5 and this is equal to 0.6. थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा है ना?
But ma'am, if we add all the outcomes and then see the result, it will be 1. So that's how we calculate probability, right?
Correct. Obviously, every trial has some outcome or the other. So when you add all of them, it should be equal to 1. So that is like the rule of the universe. But specifically, heads tails probability to 0.5 hona chahiye. But in this case, we're getting 0.6, 0.4. So the reason for this difference is the number of trials we're taking is too small. So the relation between experimental probability and theoretical probability is, what happens is that, so experimental probability mein you're actually doing the experiment n number of times, right? 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, essay. So if you continue to do that, like when you do 10 times, then you're getting, let's say, 6 heads and 4 tails. Do it 100 times. Then the 6 and 4 numbers will not be maintained. Like you won't be stuck at 60-40. Then it's going to be something like 56 and 44. Then you do it like 1,000 times. Then you're going to get numbers like, 542 and 480, whatever remaining number of times would be tails. Okay. So the relation between theoretical and like experimental probability is like what do you observe is happening as you keep doing the same experiment? So probability of heads the first time when you did it only 10 times.
The number is always varying.
It's varying. So can you figure out what pattern it is following? So I'll check the probability of heads in each case. So probability of heads, when you did it 10 times, it was 0.6, 6/10. When you did it 100 times, kya ho gaya probability?
0.56.
0.56. And if I do it 1,000 times, what happened to the probability?
0.542.
0.542.
542. So what is going on here? 0.6 से 0.56 हुआ, वहां से 0.54
The decimal point is
Yeah, it keeps dividing itself by 10.
Yeah, because here our denominator we are dividing by a bigger number, na? Aryan, you were saying?
Yes, ma'am. I was saying that there's more chance for heads to come.
More chance or less chance? Is the number
Ma'am,
increasing or decreasing?
sorry, less chance.
Ma'am, it is decreasing.
It's decreasing. You see that as you keep increasing the number, this probability is eventually going to go towards 0.5. So if you do the experiment infinite number of times, something like 1,000,000 times or 10 billion times, then the probability is going to approximate to 0.5. So the relation between experimental and theoretical probability, like it does not mean that experimental probability is wrong, just that it is an experiment, right? Now you can get either heads or tails. So if you keep repeating this experiment like to infinity, your experimental probability is going to be equal to theoretical probability. So at smaller numbers, it may not be equal. It may seem like it is, wrong or different. But as you keep increasing the number of trials, the probability is going to get equal to the theoretical probability. So Jill saying experimental is also a trial, so it might vary. Absolutely. That's the reason the numbers are varying. Okay. Suhani Shah, yeah, you reload. Okay. So that's the relation between experimental theoretical. So 9th May, all you have are experimental probability. So the questions also, you'll be given the different data. Like you will be given the data of, all the different outcomes, and you'll be asked to calculate probability based on that. Hi Swayam, how's it going? I have not seen when you have joined.
I joined just like 15
minutes ago. Okay. So yeah, we're doing probability today. Like, are you able to follow Swayam?
Yeah.
Okay. So any doubt, anything, any question you have, you can put it on the chat, or you can raise your hand, or you can like just talk. Okay. Stop.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So the formula also we discussed. So probability of any particular event happening is the number of trials in which the event happened, like how many ever times that particular event E happened, upon the total number of trials. That is the only formula you'll be using in this whole chapter. Points to remember: the probability of each event lies between 0 and 1. So why do you think it lies between 0 and 1? Like, why can't probability be something like 3.2? Who's can answer? Ashka? Shaurya? Or think about it. Swayam, your voice is breaking, Swayam. Like, you can try reloading, or you can put your answer in the chat. Read the question. So probability of any event lies between 0 and 1. So the question is, why can't probability be greater than 1? Why can't it take a value of 3.2 or minus 4? Why can't I say probability is like that? Sujal, were you going to answer?
Ma'am.
No? Think about it. The hint is in the formula.
Ma'am, if we go by the fractional value, ma'am, so 2 upon 2 is equal to 1, like whole 1.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it can't be more than 1.
I think you kind of know it, but you have to put it in better words, Ashka.
I can't frame it.
Work through it. I'm sure like this is very logical question, you guys. Look at the formula and based on that. So why I'm saying, I guess that's because 1 is certain number. Okay, 1 is certain number. Why? Like, why not 2?
Mama, previously, Mama, I remember you just said that if you add both of the probabilities like 0.5 plus 0.5, it'll add up to 1.
Yeah.
It can't go more than 1 because the events can't. Mama, I don't know how to say that.
Yeah. You and Ashka, like, I think.
Ma'am, the decimal, if it is like,
One moment. Suchal, yeah, you go ahead. And
ma'am,
then
I was
Swayam.
like trying to say the same thing what they both are saying.
Yeah, so I mean, you put it in your words, maybe you're able to frame it. Go ahead.
Ma'am, so with any decimal between 0 and 1, like if you add it up, it will always end up being 1. And if you like any decimal, like for example, you add uh, 0.5 and 0.5, that ends up being 1. But if you add 0.5 and 0.6, then it will become 1.1. So it goes greater than 1. And
So, like, that is my question. Like, why can't probability be greater than 1? What if it is 1.1? So I'm saying even if the number is 100, then it will be reduced to 1 by dividing. So what are you dividing it by? Okay, so
the total number of trials.
Okay, yeah, the number of chances. Okay, few have gotten it. So this is how you gotta put the reason. Okay, so probability of any event is number of trials in which the event is happening divided by the total number of trials, right? So can you get like, let's say you're tossing a coin 3 times in this universe. Out of tossing it 3 times, can you get 4 heads?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
That doesn't make any sense, right? Like maximum you can get only 3 heads, right? And so basically the reason is that you can't get an event, a particular event, more than the number of trials that you're already doing. So that is the reason your fraction is never going to be greater than 1. So think about it. Like if you take any fraction more than 1, okay, something like 7 by 3, this would mean, if this is a probability, like through the formula, it would mean that something happened 7 times, even though you did the experiment only 3 times. Now that doesn't make any sense. So that is the reason probability can never be greater than 1. The maximum value it can take is 1, where every single trial you have the same event happening. Okay, so that is what this stands for. The sum of all the probabilities for a certain experiment is 1. And beyond that, other 2 points we already discussed. If the probability is 1, it means that it is a certain event. Like that is the only outcome that you're always going to get. That's a sure event. And as Aryan said, if it is 0, then it is impossible because it is happening 0 number of times. It's an impossible event. It is not happening at all. Okay, so these are all the concepts that your questions will be based on. So this is the base formula, and all of these reasonings, sure event, uncertain, like impossible event, the fact that the sum of all the probabilities would be equal to 1, like all of this come from your probability ka formula. Okay. There's one example problem because this is the only type of question you're going to get. Two coins are tossed simultaneously 500 times. And when two coins are tossed, these are the different outcomes that are possible. Either both the coins, like you get two heads, or only one head, like either of the coins show heads, like one head, one tail, and tail, one head. Or there's no head at all, like both the coins show tails only. Find the probability of occurrence of each of these events. So when you're doing probability, questions are pretty simple, they're pretty straightforward, you know the formula. But for presentation, this is how you need to write it, okay? So one, you need to figure out what is the total number of trials, the bottom, like denominator part of it. Second, mention the formula, probability of event. And the third is you need to specify which event you're finding the probability for. So either you can say, write it in sentence saying probability of getting two heads, or you can say that, you know, getting two heads is E1, then P of E1. So probability of E1 equal to. So this is how you write down the 3 steps. These 3 are important when you're presenting a probability calculation solution. Okay. Sujal's asking, if we take the example of tossing a coin and we toss it 3 times and get heads thrice and tails 0 times, then that does not mean that getting tails is impossible. For that particular, I mean, experimental probability of getting tails, for that particular experiment, it was impossible. Like you didn't get tails in any this thing at all. There is a little bit of chance that the coin may be rigged, which is why you might have gotten like heads all 3 times. But again, that's the difference between theoretical probability and experimental probability. So theoretical will give you an indication that, yeah, there's a tiny percentage, there's a tiny probability of getting 3 heads. It's not impossible to get tails, 0 tails. But in that particular experiment of, you know, the 3 tosses, you did not get any tails at all. At that point of time, it was impossible. That's what it means. That is the reason it is important to denote, like it's important to specify whether you're talking about theoretical probability or experimental probability. Okay. All right. That's all there is to this chapter, you guys. What we'll do is we can start off with the workbook, and the last half an hour maybe, like we'll start off with level 1 problems, and last half an hour or so we'll do Kahoot. Okay. All right. So these are like basic concepts. You will not get these kind of questions in the exam, but yeah. Can the experimental probability of an event be one? Before we start, so I am saying, if we are assuming the example which Sujal said, getting tails is possible. I mean, we know that in this universe it is possible, definitely. Like if you look at the theoretical probability, it's not 0, right? Getting 0 tails or getting tails, all of that. But for that particular experiment, for that particular time when you tossed 3 coins and got 3 heads, getting tails was impossible in that particular time box. Like you can't change the past, right? So for that particular
If you're assuming it's possible, right? Like if you're assuming before we have done it practically, so it's possible.
Yeah, like assuming matlab, if you're not actually doing the experiment, then yeah, then you will go with theoretical probability, which is not equal to 0. But for that particular example, if you've done the experiment and you're calculating experimental probability, then because you didn't get any tails, the probability will be equal to 0. Okay. All right. So question number 1. Can the experimental probability of an event be negative number? If not, why?
Ma'am,
No,
I don't
ma'am.
think so.
Let's go alphabetical. Aryan. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Because, ma'am, if it's 0, then it's considered impossible. So, ma'am, if it goes behind 0, then I don't think it's possible for it to go
It's not,
negative.
yeah. Probability cannot be a negative number. Why? What is the reasoning?
Ma'am, because zeros itself is considered impossible, then, ma'am, I don't think it can go negative.
Yeah.
It'll be impossible.
Another way you can put the answer is you like outcomes cannot happen negative number of times. That's another way you can put it. Like you can't have, you're not gonna say I've got 100% marks minus 3 times, right? That doesn't make any sense. So like that. Okay. Next is Ashka. Your turn. Check whether 8/7 can be empirical probability or not. Give reason.
Ma'am, I don't think it will be an probability, ma'am, because number of trials are more than number the events.
The other way around. The number of times the event happened is more than the total number of trials. Yeah. All right. Okay. Next 3. Uske baad Kabir, your turn. If n is the number of trials that an event E happens and m is the total number of trials, then what is the probability of event E happening? The rest of you can put your answer in the chat, if you want to. You can do it on direct message. Yeah, Kabir, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Kabir, if you're speaking, I'm not able to hear you, Kabir.
Ma'am, I'm thinking.
Acha, okay. Read the question again.
If n is the number of trials that an event E,
Hmm.
the total number of trials, then find the probability of event E.
Probability का formula क्या है? Kabir, what is the formula for probability?
Probability is equal to n upon m.
Very good. Correct. N upon m. So probability is the total number of trials of E, like the total number of times E happened, upon the total number of trials. In this case, N is how many times E happened and M is the total number of trials. So probability is N upon M. Well done. And it's a good habit, like if at all, you have these kind of questions, right? Writing the questions in your own words, like just making small notes and matlab event E, M, total number of trials, like it'll help you figure things out. Okay. Next. So the different types of problems you have are coin toss problems, dice problems, and general event scenarios that you'll just be given a table and you'll be asked questions on that. Okay. So coming to, okay, these are not, okay, this is not a coin toss problem, the first one. There's a typo over here. You can correct it in case you guys have gotten printed books. But yeah, this part you can ignore. this shouldn't be here. So the question is, in a survey of 364 children aged 19 to 36 months, it was found that 91 like to eat potato chips. If a child is selected at random, the probability that he or she does not like to eat potato chips is. So you've got 364 children total, and it was found that 91 like to eat potato chips. So what is the probability that the child selected does not like to eat potato chips? Who's next?
Ma'am,
Sure, yeah. Sure, yeah. So
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, work this out. Figure out the answer.
Ma'am, I think it is 303 by 364.
Shaurya, check your subtraction. Sujal got it. Sujal, reduce it to smallest form. Like you see if there's any common factors, cancel them out. Shaurya, check your math.
Ma'am, it is 273.
Yes. Good job. So 91 like to eat potato chips, which means that the rest of them don't like to eat potato chips. So that is the reason. Number of times favorable to the event, which is liking potato chips, is 273 upon the total is 364. So Hani got the final answer. Very good. So whenever you come across these sort of numbers, right, always in your final exams, cancel out the common factors. Don't leave it as it is. If you're short on time, yeah, you can leave it because you don't want to waste time. Like you want to do as many problems as possible. But if you see that there's enough time, cancel out your common factors. Okay. So what is 273 and 364? What are they divisible by? And 273 is really odd, right? 3 se jayega.
It
but
can be divisible by 91.
91 say, wow, okay. So yeah, 91 into 4 and 91 into 3. Yeah, so 3 by 4 is 0.75. If you're not able to think of it, you can go small numbers also. Check 2 is pretty easy. 3 is also divisibility test is easy.
Ma'am,
5,
7.
7, yeah. So mostly 7 only you have to divide and check. The rest of it all you can like recognize easily. All right. Now comes the coin toss problem. Coin is tossed 20 times and the head occurs 12 times. How many times did the tail occur? Iska turn here be Suhani.
Yes, ma'am. So the total number of outcomes is 20,
Yeah.
out of which 12 times the person got heads. So if we subtract 12 from 20, we get 8. So the probability for tails would be 8 upon 20,
Very
which
good.
is
Write it down.
so which is 1 second, just
by 5.
in decimal form it's 0.4.
So perfectly fine. In this form, it would be 4 2s are 4 5s are. So that's 2 by 5. Okay. Excellent. Next, in a cricket match, a batsman hits boundary 10 times out of the 50 balls that he plays. Find the probability when he did not hit a boundary. Sujal, this question is for you.
Ma'am, so that like he hit out of the 50 balls, he hit 10 balls for boundary. So the remaining ball he did not hit them for a boundary, which has 40 balls. So the probability that he did not hit a boundary will be 40 upon 50, which when reduced becomes 4 by 5.
Very good. Correct. All right. And final, Swayam, your turn. Look at question number 7. In a sample study of 642 people, it was found that 514 people have a high school certificate. They passed high school. If a person selected at random, the probability that the person has a high school certificate is. So here you're given it in terms of decimals. So after finding out, you need to divide and give me the final answer. Swayam, your turn. This is your question now. Oh, Swayam, what happened? It looks like Swayam's disconnected. I don't see him here.
No, ma'am, he's not there in the meeting.
Yeah, I'll just try and ping him and see. Okay, in the meantime, like, okay, this is open for all. Whoever has solved it, you can send your answer. So Hani's got net already. Nobody else has solved it yet. 514 upon 642. See, especially whenever you come across MCQ, right? You can kind of figure it out, like 514 and 642. So definitely 0.5 to nahi ho sakta hai, because 0.5, half of 642 would be somewhere around 300 something. So just check if it would be equal to 0.7 or 0.8. Okay, so you can roughly divide it and you'll be able to get it. Yeah, Aksha.
Ma'am,
Is it 0.8?
0.8, absolutely. Good. Correct, both of you. Cool. So now that we have done one round of questions, 8th is again repetition of your potato chip wala question. So you can skip it. So before going forward, I want to ask you one question. You may or may not have it in your workbook, but I'll ask it anyway, okay? So let's say you're given that the probability of E happening, I'll give you, it is 0.25. Then what is the probability of not E happening? Like anything can happen except E.
0.75.
How did you get it, Sujal?
Ma'am, because probability can only happen in between 0 to 1. So 0.25, 1 minus 0.25, which is 0.75.
Yes, nice. Aryan, was it the same answer that you got?
Yes, I was going to say 0.75.
Correct. Very nice. Suhani is also gotten it. Just a moment. So yeah, so Sujal, your logic is also correct. So it is 1 minus 0.5. But the reason why you do 1 minus 0.5 is if basically if E happening is 0.25, then rest of the times is basically not E. And the sum of the probabilities of all the events should be equal to 1. So that is the reason why the probability of not E happening is 1 minus 0.25. That's the reason you subtract from 1. Okay. Cool. Nice. Shaurya, Kabir, you guys, you've been a little quiet. Alright, make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Cool. That's all there is to the chapter, you guys. Like all the questions that you come across, it's going to be this only. Okay, so let's make it like a speed round. In the meantime, I'll set up Kahoot. Check the 9th question. So given below is the frequency distribution of daily wages in rupees of 30 workers in a certain factory. So in this range, there's 3 workers getting 110 to 100 rupees. 130 say 150 tak there's 4, 150 to 170 there's 5. The table is given. If a worker is selected at random, find the probability that this wage is less than 150. Solve it, send it on chat. Yeah, Suhani?
Ma'am, will the 4 workers we counted because their wage can be exactly 150 as well?
Yes,
Okay.
so it will be 7.
So, Suhani, you raised a good point. So because we haven't done statistics chapter, right? So there's something we'll touch upon there. But whenever you're given a table, like specifically a frequency distribution table like this, right? So 150 is factoring in over here also and here also. So the workers who are getting exactly 150, where would you put them? Will you put them over here or will you put them over here?
Ma'am,
On the
in
top.
5.
150 to 170.
Top or bottom? Like I've gotten both the answers there.
Bottom one.
Bottom one.
Okay, so the thing is, like the standard is that only the lower limit is included, the upper limit is not included, usually in these
Ma'am,
kind
so
of
like
tables.
in the second, like the
Yeah.
151, the maximum wages will be 149. After that, it will be counted as 150 to 170. No,
Yes.
169.
If in case you have 149.99 also, it is going to go into this. The moment it touches 150, it's going to go into this bracket. All right. So now calculate probability of someone whose wage is less than 150. Suhani and Sujal have already sent their answers. Rest of you also quickly send it. Aryan, you converted to decimal. Yes, that sounds about right. Sujal, you've done the next one also. Okay. Sujal, check the answer for the second one. I think you missed out on. number. Suhani, yeah, you got the second one right. Ashka, Kabir, Shaurya, Sen, first one. Sujal, now you got it right, second one. These guys are already on the second one. Yes, Sen. Oh. Ashka, can you explain how you got it? Like, what's your logic?
Oh, ma'am, I did a mistake in the calculation of all the workers.
Yeah. Yes, Ashka got it right. So Kabir and Shaurya, I'm waiting for answers from you guys. Sujal has finished all of them. Ashka, again, check your addition. So you need more than or equal to 150, but less than 210.
Ma'am, did you get my answers?
Yes. Suhani also has done all 4. Sujal, you need to make a habit of reducing the fractions. Leave it in fractions, but it needs to be in like the lowest form. Agar koi common factors hai, to you need to cancel them out. Or as Suhani is doing, you can convert them into decimal also, either or. Ashka, you got the second one. Aryan, what happened? Pehla wala promptly aa gaya, fir second, third, fourth.
Yes, ma'am. I'm just doing it.
Okay. Are you sending all of them together?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I got the second one. Is it 0.533?
Let me calculate. I need to check. Yeah, that sounds about right. Slightly more than 0.5 for sure. Correct. Kabir and Shaurya haven't gotten answers from you guys.
I'm a little bit confused.
Where are you confused?
7 upon.
Our favorable event is 110 से 150 तक wages चाहिए. Total number of possibilities, like total number of workers कितने हैं? 7 out of denominator में क्या आएगा? Total number कितना है अभी?
30.
Ma'am, there are 30 people in the factory.
Yeah. So your total is going to be 30 in this case. So 30 workers में से you're choosing how many ever are favorable to your condition. So in that first this thing, less than 150, that is why you chose the 7. 3 plus 4, 7. Okay. So Kabir, what would be the answer for the second part? More than or equal to 150, but less than 210.
Wait, so more than 150, so and less than 210.
Ashka sent the third one. Let me check.
16 upon 30.
Yes, correct. Exactly. So that's how you continue. Okay. So do the third and fourth one also. Ashka, for the third one, no, Ashka. Check your answer for the third one. Wait, Sujal and Suhani, I saw that you sent the third one. How much?
Ma'am, third one.
Ma'am, and third one, like at least, ma'am, should it be like less than 210 or even
You tell
like,
me. At least 210
At
matlab,
least
so the least?
least value should be 210. So will you consider values more than 210 or less than 210?
ma'am, more than 200.
Oh, more than. Okay.
Acha, so it was a grammar mistake, not a calculation mistake.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is one more thing that it's a good point that we came across this question. So at least and at most. So at least ka matlab lowest value should be whatever, at least 210 matlab 210 lowest value, least should be 210. Matlab 210 and more than 210. At most matlab the most value should be whatever is given. So if I say at most 210, then the highest most should be 210. So you will consider everything less than 210. Yeah. So there's at least and at most. Don't get confused because they sound similar. They touch on the similar concepts, but simple logic. At least 210 matlab least should be 210. So uske basis pe you know the meaning of least. So that means that you have to take everything greater than 210 that way. Yes, Aryan got it. Aryan, no, the third is, how did you get 0.3? Fourth is correct.
Mama, I think I should do it again. I think I made a mistake.
Yes, Ashka got the third one. Sujal, yes, you corrected your third one. Suhani, you had it right from the beginning, the third one. Yes, your fourth is also correct. Ashka has gotten it. Aryan got it only in the at least part, fumbled a little bit. Kabir, do the fourth one. The fourth is also pretty direct. You should be able to do it.
Ma'am, can you show the question?
Oh,
Oh,
not
okay, wait.
Vasudha.
No.
There you go. Shaurya, I haven't received any answers from you.
Ma'am, is it 12 upon 30?
Correct. Yes, you're right. I guess so. So Aryan, the third also you should get 7 on 30. So if that is
No, ma'am, I just made a slight mistake. It's not 0.336, it's 0.366.
okay. I mean, check 7 on 30 अगर 0.366 है तो that is correct. But yeah, ideally the answer you get is 7 upon 30, third one will be. And the fourth is 12 on 30. Between 190 to 250 is 5 plus 4 plus 3, 12
Yes.
on total.
I got that one.
ठीक है. Awesome. All right. Number 10. Okay, the question is split between 2 pages, so I'll skip this for now. You guys do it in your homework. So, honey, 7 on 30, Aryan, you should get 0.23.
Ma'am, in the third one.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
So at least 210 matlab anything more than 210. So that would again be 4 plus 3. So these are the two rows that you will consider.
Okay, ma'am. I took 190 and 200 also.
Ah, you saw the 210 here and then you took it up. Yeah, just be careful about that. Huh? Number 11. Similar to that, we'll do this so that you guys have practice. And then after this, I'll see if there's a different type of question. Table shows the number of people visiting Good Living Pavilion in a trade fair during different times of day. So between 9 to 11, 175 people visited. 11 say 1, 125 people visited. So that way you have the distribution of people. Find the probability that the randomly chosen person visited the pavilion after 1 p.m. but before 5 p.m. So find the probability of a person visiting after 1 p.m. but before 5 p.m. Suhani's already gotten it. By now you should be able to do it. Simple addition karna hai just 2 times. Between 1 to 5. Yes, absolutely correct, Suhani, you got it. And the total number of people also. Yes, absolutely right. Suhani's correct. So Swani, you can start, you can do the rest of the subparts also.
Okay, ma'am.
Ashka, also correct. Ashka, just check your multiplication a bit. Numerator seems to be correct, but your denominator, just check it once. Now you'll have to check your calculation, Ashka. It was quite close actually. Almost right, but yeah, it's not. Ashka, can you send what is the total number of people you got that addition?
Ma'am, I got 875.
That is the mistake.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, so the total number of people is 845, na?
Yes. Denominator mein you should get 845. So probability conceptually is very simple. It is these little things that are going to cost you. You just need a little bit of focus. Silly mistakes that you call. Don't make silly mistakes, guys. That's okay. Like abhi chalu kiya na, we are on problem number, like it's the 10th problem you're doing. By the end of this chapter, you guys should be like proper pakka with this. Swani sent all 4. Rest of you, fast.
Ma'am, are the answers correct?
I'm checking. First one's right. Second one is 1 between 9 to 1, right? Second is correct. Third is correct. And fourth is also correct. Yes. I haven't checked the division, by the way. I've checked that you took the correct values. So decimals, again, that will depend on your aspect. Sujal, yes, first one is correct. Second is correct, absolutely. Third is also correct, yes. Fourth is also correct. Nice. Got it also, sir. Rest of you, itna time kyun lag raha hai? Like once you do the answer, at least send me your initial numbers. Like before you reduce the fraction, kitna aa raha hai, send it to me so that I can verify say, are you guys counting correctly or not? And then, yeah, you can reduce the values. Aryan, yes, the first one's correct. Once you calculate the total number, these subparts are still very, very easy, you guys. Should be able to do that in like 30 seconds.